Right, we've made it. Cressing Temple Barns, tucked away between Witham and Braintree. The Action 5 is fired up, and honestly, even in this typical Essex weather, the place looks grand. Best part? I've just parked up and it's completely free. No messing about with apps or coins today. We're just heading past the Tiptree tea room now. Don't worry, we're definitely coming back for that jam later. You can see the first barn peeking out already, but I've got to give a quick shout out to the toilets here. Honestly, they're spotless, which is always a win when you're out for a long day of filming. We've made it over to the Granary now, and they've actually got the doors open for us. So let's head inside and see what's what. We've made it upstairs, and just look at the scale of this. I've kept the camera on these beams for a while because the joinery is just incredible. You can really see the craftsmanship that went into this centuries. This building is actually Tudor, built around 1575, making it a younger neighbor to the medieval Templar barns. It's the largest granary in the whole of Essex. Those massive timbers were designed to hold the weight of tons of grain. The wavy floor is caused by the massive weight of that grain over centuries, combined with the natural movement of the oak. Heading into the second part of the building now, and we're moving away from the structure itself and looking at how they actually work the land. These chaff cutters here were a huge deal when they were introduced at the end of the 18th century, basically the first step in mechanizing the farm. And check out this winnowing machine. It's hand-operated and was made by the Ward and Silver Ironworks over in Long Melford. You can still see the name on it. It's incredible to think how much physical labor went into every single sack of grain before these machines came along to do the heavy lifting. Just next to the machinery, you've got the weights and measures display. Back in the day, these were the absolute law. You couldn't trade a single bushel of wheat without them. It gives you a real sense of the scale of the business that was run from these barns. As we're walking through, you can really feel that floor underfoot again. It's got that wavy, uneven feel that tells the story of centuries of weight pressing down on the oak. It's not just a museum, it's a building that's worked hard for its living for over 800 years. Stepping back out into the fresh air now. I wanted to take a second just to walk along the side of the building because as much as the inside is impressive, the scale of this place from the outside is just as impressive. We've made our way over to the machinery collection now. Check this out. It's an old horse-drawn grass mower. Before the roar of tractors took over the fields, this was how it was done. You've got the heavy-duty wagons and all sorts of field tools here that would have been the backbone of the farm. It's one thing to see the barns where they stored the harvest, but seeing the actual tools that pulled it from the ground really completes the picture of what life was like out here in the 18th and 19th centuries. Now have a look at this beast. While it's part of the harvesting process, this is actually a massive mechanical threshing machine. Before these existed, men had to spend all winter in barns, like the Barley Barn, beating the grain out of the stalks by hand with wooden flails. This machine changed everything. It's a huge mix of heavy timber framing and cast iron pulleys that could process more grain in an afternoon than a whole team of men could do in a week. Walking into this little outbuilding, the first thing that hits you isn't the history, it's the smell. It's absolutely incredible in here. They've got bunches of lavender hanging from the rafters to dry, likely harvested straight from the Tudor Walled Garden we were just in. It feels like stepping back into a 16th century apothecary. It's these small, quiet spaces that really bring the documenting UK vibe to life. Now check this out in the corner. There's another well right inside the building. I've tried to get the Action 5 down there to see how deep it goes, but it's like a bottomless pit. The light just disappears. These wells were the lifeblood of the manor. Whether this was for drinking water or part of the still room for making herbal remedies, it's a reminder that every building here had a very specific, practical purpose. We're stepping into the Tudor Walled Garden now. It's a bit of a gear shift from the massive barns, but it's just as historic. This isn't just a random collection of plants. It's a meticulous reconstruction of a 16th century pleasure garden based on actual manuscripts from the time. It's designed to be a place for a quiet stroll, so let's take a look around. We've moved into the next building now, and this is the Bakehouse. You can really feel the history in the walls here. In its heyday, this would have been one of the busiest spots on the manor, with the ovens running almost constantly to feed everyone living and working on the Templar estate. It's a lot smaller than the barns, but without this place, the whole operation would have ground to a halt. Back in the day, the Bakehouse often worked hand in hand with a brewhouse, because grain was the king of Cressing Temple. They'd use the same barley and wheat we saw in those massive barns to make the daily staples. Standing in here now, it's much quieter, but you can almost imagine the heat from the ovens and the smell of fresh bread that would have filled this room hundreds of years ago. After all that history, it was time for a bit of a break. We've headed over to the Tiptree tea room, which is right here on the Cressing Temple site. You really can't beat the setting. It's tucked away in a beautiful old building that fits the whole vibe of the day perfectly. If you're coming down here, this is definitely the place to refuel. We kept it simple today, just a proper panini and a decent coffee to warm up. I didn't film the full meal this time because I was too busy enjoying it, but here are a few snapshots of what they've got on offer. It was the perfect end to a great afternoon in Essex. If you've enjoyed this walkthrough of Cressing Temple, please do give the video a like and subscribe to Documenting UK for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.